Yeah, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. It's been a minute since I said that. What's up? What's good? What's poppin'? What's crackin'? Percolate? What's really good in the hood? It's your man Theo Butler, and y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. I've been gone for a couple of days, but I'm back today. I'm back today. Had to get the energy right and everything. Wasn't feeling good. Something was bothering me. Discomfort in my abdomen, in my stomach. On the inside and everything. But we back. We took a break and everything like that. Had to get the energy right for tonight because we got to be right for tonight. Me and my brother D Real, we are hosting Joseph Illich. Milestone presents the Shadow Cabinet issues 1 through 4. Yep, yep. I'm anxious to see where we go from that. I'm anxious to see where we go from that. That said, though, the title, Marvel Comics and the MCU. You know, me and my brother Daryl have talked about this before, um, but it's always nice to know when somebody else thinks about it. And I came across a YouTuber, and he was talking about superhero movies, superhero comic books, how they relate to one another, and I thought it was just me and Daryl. I did. I thought it was just me and Daryl, but no. It's other folks out there. Well, Theo, what do you mean? Say it. Spit it out. The way Marvel has been going about promoting their superheroes, when you think about how strong the MCU was when it first came out, and you think about current comic book sales, if you're not a comic book reader, you're more so a moviegoer, then you may or may not get what I'm getting ready to say. DC was doing this thing where they were putting comic books. If movie was coming out, put the comic book in the seat and everything like that. Now, we know it's been on record. Marvel, they don't hire comic book fans. Kevin Feige came into superhero comic books in his later teens. He was primarily a Star Wars, Indiana Jones fan. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you read comics, you read comics prior to the MCU, and you've been reading comic books since the MCU, you noticed something. You did. Now, we remember as comic book fans that the MCU was not happy with the way the Fantastic Four and the X-Men were being portrayed live action by Fox Studios. We know Marvel Comics took the X-Men and the Fantastic Four away. We know that. What we also know is that there has been movie synergy, i.e. MCU synergy, coming over to the comic books. The problem with that, because I know what this formula looks like. The guy said it, and I was like, damn. He's saying it. We've talked about it. We've discussed it. It's nice to know somebody. It ain't just us. If you read comic books, and you've been reading comic books, you know comic book sales ain't doing that well. Whether you read DC Comics, Marvel Comics, or DC and Marvel Comics, you know that. You know that when Green Lantern came out, the live action, and it didn't do too well, they didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to do anything video wise. What they did not mess with, shout out to Jeff Johns, What they did not mess with was what they had going on in the comics. They stayed right there. Oh no, you're not gonna bring this over here. You keep that over there. Don't bring that over here. Jeff Johns reinvigorated the Green Lantern Corps like I've never seen it done before. And we're going to cover the Blackest Night event. We're going to jump into some of Jeff Johns' greatest hits on this channel. If you are a Green Lantern fan, if you have not read Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern, the Green Lantern Corps, the Sinestro Corps War, Blackest Night, you need to get up on that because we're gonna start discussing that. That's some good writing. But we saw that. We looked at what Kevin Feige was doing in regards to Kamala Khan, changed her embiggening powers. And we saw in the comics the character, for no reason whatsoever, take a dirt nap and come back as a member of the X-Men, which made no sense. She was an Inhuman. Made no sense. Well, and no comic book fan cared. Like, comic book fans were totally turned off. Not only were comic book fans, I'm one of them, turned off about a meaningless death in the comic books, comic book fans were turned off by her portrayal live action, i.e. in the MCU. No comic book fan cared for her powers being changed like that. None of us did. But here's the thing. Marvel's formula, which is bass backwards to me, is they're trying to use the movies to, let me rephrase that. Yeah. They're trying to use the movies, the influence that the movie has over the movie fan, to get them to read comics. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get, that's why you're seeing all this stuff done, because Kara Danvers did not have, she was not that until Brie Larson portrayed her. She wasn't. And nobody cares for that version of Kara Danvers. Kara Danvers was more interested when she was kicking the bobo with the X-Men. She was. Comic book fans ain't buying this. As Kendrick said, the audience ain't dumb. Comic book fans ain't buying this version of Carol Danvers. You changed Carol Danvers to be this version to appease the movie fan. The movie fan don't read comics. So now you got a lose-lose. You got the comic book fan who has never been pressed for Carol Danvers' portrayal in the MCU, now not caring about Carol Danvers' portrayal in comic books. That's a lose-lose. That's the comic book fan checking out not once but twice. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Now we're trying to do this thing with the Red Hulk in comics. Nobody cares about the Red Hulk like that. Folks care more about Thunderbolt Ross as Thunderbolt Ross than they do about Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk. Comic book fans don't care. And it's safe to say, with your comic book sales tanking, going lower and lower and lower, the movie fan ain't crossing over from the movie to the comics. And this is why we having this problem. I'm going to suggest something, and I realize I'm not going to be taken seriously when I say it. It's going to be taken as criticism. It is, but it's actually constructive. It's not criticism. To the editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics, as my grandmother would say, you're literally cutting off your nose to spite your face. You need to be more inclined to give comic book fans, baby boomers, Generation X, that generation that just came after them, because Generation X was reading those comics that they collected to their children. As a matter of fact, the comic books that the baby boomers and Generation X collected still to this day are some of your highest grossing comics. Your most successful storylines come from we were kids. Think it's a game? It's not. You're using stories from when we were in high school, middle school, and college. Using those storylines, if not just the titles to those storylines, to sell your movies. You know who's disappointed when you do that? It ain't the movie fan. It's the comic book fan that's saying, this don't make no damn sense. Secret Wars, no damn sense. You can't even explain to the comic book fans what happened to the Orisha in Thor: Love and Thunder. You cannot. You know why? Because comic book fans, whether they're Thor fans, Captain America fans, Namor fans, Avengers fans, Fantastic Four fans, have known about not just the Greek pantheon, not just about the Asgardian pantheon. No. They know about the African pantheon, and they're trying to figure out what it was comic book fans that asked where was Bass during Moon Knight. Made no sense. Made no sense. I could jump off into why you're dialing Black representation back all the way, but this ain't what this video is about. No, this video is about the head of Marvel Entertainment thinking it's better to change the comics to mimic the movies than to change the movies to mimic the comics. And I ain't the only one noticing that. The Rock, I'm gonna say it like this: it ain't people of color that's just noticing that. I feel like that's the best way I can say it. It's not just people of color that's noticing that. No, it's comic book fans. Mind you, we're not dealing with this in DC. We're not dealing with this in DC. Oh no, James Gunn then came in and said, man, I want all the money. James want all the money. Jay like, no. Let me get a question. Give me some good writing to it too. He did that. He did that. I don't know what to tell y'all. The question along the watchtower. It's a female. It's a female. It's a female. She's a lesbian. She kisses her ex. It don't take away from the story at all. It don't. I'm gonna tell you, thus far, issues 1 through 4 ain't got but one issue left. They if this was somebody, a gymnast, I'm just waiting to see if she gonna stick the landing. Cause this routine that she got going on right now, oh, it's lovely. I don't even know what attracted me to the title. The question, Along the Watchtower. Oh, you don't give two damns about Batwoman in the CW, huh? You don't care about that at all. That ain't even what you're going for, huh? Okay. This Renee Montoya from the comic books, huh? Oh, all right. This John Stewart, you ain't even doing nothing. You diggle and get the ring. You okay? This John Stewart. Oh, okay. This Jaime Reyes, and you got Jaime Reyes on it, huh? Like Jaime Reyes ain't what we got over there in the movie. No. Jaime Reyes is a geek. He a nerd. Him and Ted Cord like that. They running stuff. That's James Gunn don't give two damns. James Gunn want all the money. What you say? Aquaman can manipulate water now? Or you trying to put a lot of respect on Arthur Curry name, huh? Oh, and you giving us a Michael Holt comic book. And this ain't got nothing to do with Curtis Hunt. And then you got Michael showing up in the movie. Yeah, I don't look nothing like, oh. You see how James is taking the comic book and letting it influence the movies? Yeah, it ain't that doing the other way around. Even with this whole thing about Hal Jordan, and I'm hoping Hal Jordan does not hit on John's mama. Because as my brother D Real said last night, that's a MILF. That is not Jon Stewart's mother. I don't know what we going for here. I'm interested as hell to see it. That ain't John's mama. Rest in peace. His mama in the comics is gone. She just passed away from dementia. But this right here, I'm finna see. But James, no. So, and that's why it's Marvel, not DC. The comic book fan is coming to the movies, as I just said to my wife. The comic book fan is coming to the movie because the comic book character that they read about for so many years is headlining the movie. And they're looking not for one-to-one. I can't stand when people say that. That is the silliest thing. What they're looking for is to be reminded by the movie of the character in the comics. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to get it as close as possible. That's what the comic book fan is looking for. When you go above and beyond to take a detour from what's in the comic book fan checks out. We go see the movie. We stay, either A, we stand for the whole movie, just so can't nobody tell us some nonsense about the movie, or we leaving the movie early. The movie don't get any rewatch value. What we then do is we go right back to the comic books that featured our favorite character. And as long as that character is staying consistent to the comic books, we right there with the comic book. But if they start changing the character to resemble what's in the movies more so than what's in the comics, well, if the comic book fan didn't care about the movie portrayal, what makes you think they'll care about that portrayal in the comic books? That is the dumbest logic. But you know who I expect to have that type of mindset? Somebody who really does not have respect for the comic book genre. Shout out to, I think it's R.K. Rowling. I might be getting his name wrong. J.K. Rowling. When did Harry Potter come out? Well, Crystalline wasn't grown when Harry Potter came out. She wasn't. When did Lord of the Rings come out? But Theo, where are you going? I can't tell you that I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm not going to lie like that. But if you are a Harry Potter fan, tell me if they changed Harry Potter in the books to match Harry Potter in the movies. Tell me about that respect level. Tell me about the respect level in the Lord of the Rings, that they went above and beyond to change the story of the Lord of the Rings in the books to match what was in the movies. I'll go you one better. Because this really speaks to Kevin Feige and those like him having a lack of respect for the writers and their creations. Tell me when you gonna change. I like this one. I like this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go right here. Shakespeare. What's the difference between Shakespeare and Kevin Grevioux? They're both writers, and they both created characters. Right. What's the difference between Kevin Grevioux and William Shakespeare? What's the difference between Stan Lee and William Shakespeare? What's the difference between Jack Kirby and William Shakespeare? What's the difference between Reginald Hutland and William Shakespeare? If I can sit back and appreciate what William Shakespeare wrote, and I prefer to read it in its original iteration, i.e., old English, then what are we saying when we can give other writers of fiction in different fictional genres the respect that they're due and not take a hatchet job to their characters, their stories? When it comes to the comics, Marvel, we have little to no respect for the writers that created those characters. They do whatever they want to do with them in the movies, and then try and make comic book fans who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s take it on the chin. That's why you're losing money. Is that really what you're trying to do? I'm gonna keep up with these notes. I came in for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. Just something that I thought about. Shout out to the YouTuber. I wish I knew his name and everything like that. Guy did an excellent job. If I can find his name, I will share it on my Twitter page and everything like that. Yeah, I'm not calling it that. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. So I'm gonna keep up with these notes. Then I'm gonna get on up out of here because we got a show to do tonight, and I got my energy back. I got my energy back. Your boy wasn't feeling well. What's going on, S. Shaddix? What is going on? Hey, what's going on, Mr. Martin? I must be the only person who didn't hate every aspect of Fox X-Men. Thus, my appetite was met. Don't care about X-Men in the MCU. I don't even. You know what? And that's fair. This is a safe space. This is a safe space. I didn't. This ain't where we get into one of those disagreements and everything like that. I didn't like it because they made it all about Logan. I'm a Cyclops fan. I'm an OG5 fan. So when I saw, and then I didn't like the portrayal, the actress that portrayed Jean Grey. I don't know why we wanted to make Jean older than Scott. I don't know why that's what we did. I wasn't a fan of that. Wasn't a fan of the Dark Phoenix saga. I actually read that when I was going to GHS 120 in the Bronx. I didn't care for that. I didn't care for either Dark Phoenix saga, to be perfectly honest with you. I think the best X-Men movie I saw was Days of Future Past. And I didn't care for that one then because they wanted to make it all about Mystique. It's like, oh, we finna make it all about Logan, and then we finna make it all about, because I don't know how you make the Dark Phoenix saga all about Logan when that's literally a love story about Jean and Scott. And then you did it again. It's literally about Jean and Scott, but no, this is the Dark Phoenix saga again. No, we weren't making it about Mystique. When? when did Mystique? I get it. We love the actress and everything like that. But when did Mystique become her? Mystique got a solo title out there right now, and I can't tell you how it's doing. I can't. But then again, I can't tell you it's really being given. Folks are really reviewing that solo run by Mystique. So, but hey, like I said, it's a safe space. It is absolutely a safe space. What's going on, Professor Phil? What's going on? What's going on? We in Grand Madam Tarot, the lovely Grand Madam. Grandma, I asked you a question. I asked you a question on your live. They have also buried, man, listen. They did that, listen. And I can't even be mad because I'm like, if y'all wasn't gonna do right by the Inhumans, at least my boy got a job over there on the Enterprise. At least he got a job over there. That was the best comic era. That 2008 was great at both DC and Marvel. Nova was balling. Guardians of the Galaxy was good. Havoc reached his highest. He did. It makes no sense in MCU that Kara has the power set she has via the Tesseract. She should basically be able to just teleport or open portals. Silliness. I think they missed a moment. I think they missed a moment with Carol. With Theo, what do you mean when you say that? I think if you introduce Carol right, that vitriol ain't sitting there like that. There was a story arc that they could have told, but we want to make her Captain Marvel. There was a story arc that was missed that would have a comic book story arc, mind you. If you had respect for the comic book story arc, you get we know, and if you're a comic book fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Even if we had to update it because they didn't have the rights to the X-Men and everything, there is a beautiful story arc that Carol goes through that everybody that's a comic book fan remembers. There's a beautiful story arc. And that story arc could have took her from being Carol Danvers all the way up to, I guess, if you want to make her Captain Marvel, make her Captain Marvel. But no, you had somebody who did not have a healthy appreciation for the characters. Mind you, the story, this is my opinion, and it has nothing to do with my ethnicity. It has everything to do with me being a comic book fan. The storyline that they wanted to use for Captain Marvel, Infinity War, Endgame, her own movie. That story, because Captain Marvel, and when I'm saying Captain Marvel, I'm talking about Carol Danvers. Because of Carol Danvers' comic book history in comparison to Monica Rambeau's comic book history, that Endgame, Infinity War, and Captain Marvel play out better if you use Monica Rambeau as opposed to Carol Danvers. Why? Well, you're not alienating Marvel fans. You're not alienating Marvel fans when you do that, because you don't even have to reference the Kree when you do it. You don't. That ain't how Monica got her powers. You can still have Maria there. You don't need Carol. So I guess now we can have Frank. Right. You can do the whole story where Monica gets her abilities. Right. And then we get an origin story for Carol to a degree. Well, how long would Monica's origin have taken in her own movie? About the same amount of time. You still could have had it where Nick Fury was reaching out to Monica. You could have. Monica still could have been out in space making stuff do what it was doing. She could have been. Absolutely. Because what's her power set? Which they've done a horrible job in displaying. What's her power set? Yeah, Monica came right on in. Captain Marvel, not alienated men, not alienated women. Oh no, you get the woman, you get the black woman, you get the black man, black father, you get the black mother, yeah, you get the black husband, and you get the black wife, and you get white folks coming in too. You do, because you watch this. You had Peter Parker, right? Right. He could have did a cameo. Yeah, Tom Holland could have did a cameo. Why? Because Monica's origin story is in a Spider-Man annual. You could have literally done that and wouldn't have alienated one person. One. Because they'd have been saying just like this, oh, that's comic book canon. See, she was Captain Marvel before Carol. You could even have her say her favorite hero was Marvel. That's why she took the alias Captain Marvel. But you have to be a comic book fan to do that. So, like to your point, Mr. Martin, utter silliness. The only comic synergy that comic fans want to see is omnibus on the shelf and characters in movie. That's it. That's it. We don't want no personality power changes to match the movie at all. At all. I don't know one comic book fan yet that ever walked away from the movie and said, ooh. What say, Theo? I don't know one comic book fan yet that ever went to the movies. So I told my wife this. I said, comic book fans go to the movies and we like the portrayal of a comic book superhero, depending on how well they get it, on how close they get it, on the, what's the word I want to use, on the execution. It depends on the execution. The most you're going to get is we're going to like it because we love what's in the comics. That's why we buy comics every Wednesday, because we love that's why we've been buying comics since we was kids, which predates the MCU, because we love the comics. I'm gonna say this, might not like this. I don't know one Daredevil fan yet that has applauded the way the White Tiger met his demise on the show. I don't know one comic book fan that's watched episode 1 and was cool with Foggy Nelson being deleted. You know what they're gonna do? Turn right back around to the comics. You know what you should not do as the editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics? Decide to give Foggy Nelson a dirt nap. Mind you, there are still Iron Man fans that have an issue with Happy Hogan taking a dirt nap just to get him out the way. So Tony and Pepper, which by the way, Tony and Pepper not even in a relationship in the comics. So you deleted Happy for no reason. What you saying, Theo? They deleted Happy Hogan in the comics to put Tony and Pepper together in the comics. In the comics, Pepper and Happy were together happily. Well, comic book fans rejected the idea of Tony and Pepper being together. So what did they have to do? Dissolve that relationship. As a matter of fact, I can't even tell you the last damn time we seen Pepper. Hell, Tony was just in a fake marriage to Emma. Yes, the White Queen. So comic book fans don't care for that stuff. They don't. Oh, it's cute in the movies. It's cute. But in the comics, like I said, why are we so quick to disrespect the writers in the comic books when we're doing movies based on their creations? In ways we would never do that with another writer from another genre. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. The fans ain't signing off on that. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to figure out make it make sense to me. Because at 8:03, I can't be here too long. I got to go. James Gunn actually promotes the comics that he's adapted for his project. Kevin don't do that. No, he tries to gaslight you that the man. All right, hey, listen, they be their own demise. Marvel should have just created a separate comics line connected to the MCU. Should have been. And if I'm Marvel Comics, I'm looking at it like this. Didn't you have to sell your characters off before? Didn't you have to sell your characters off before because folks weren't checking for the stories? Yes, you did. And I'm not trying to be funny, but who was it that literally saved you? It was a black character portrayed by a black actor. That black actor, because anybody come after him gonna put some work in. That black actor portrayed that black character so well, we got 3 movies, and that saved your bacon. So you're running the risk of repeating that again. I don't know if you get that or not. It's a reason why nobody gave 2 damns about From the Ashes. The majority of the title From the Ashes, there was a reason why nobody gave 2 damns about that. That wasn't what the comic book fan wanted. And the comic book fan told you what they wanted, but you're thinking you know best. No, you don't. You're trying to reinvent the wheel. What for? The wheel works just fine. Now, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. What you can do is improve upon the wheel. That's what you can do. That make the wheel bulletproof. Make the wheel resealable. You know, when it get punctures, it reseals itself. Do that. Do that. The wheel work fine though. Make the wheel where nothing happens to the car, i.e., nothing on the struts, nothing on the joints, nothing. Do that. Do that. Do it where the wheel lets you know, talks to you in the car. Hey, we need to get this tire changed. Improve the wheel, but the wheel, it's not broke. You trying to break it though. You trying. What's going on, Afro? What's going on? What's going on? The comic book fan is coming to see basically what Warner Brothers did for Harry Potter. Oh, we know it ain't going to be 1-to-1, but it should be close. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If anybody want to take a screenshot of that, take a screenshot of that, because there are those out there who the first thing come out their mouth is 1-to-1 comparison. Ain't nobody stupid. You talking to folks that watched Spider-Man back in the day on CBS with Nicholas Hammond. Stop saying stuff like that. Stop. I can't stand when folks try and trivialize what you're saying by saying something utterly stupid. Thank you, S. Jaddix. Thank you. Somebody take a screenshot of that and send that to me. I need that. That's the perfect response right there. 2001, the Harry Potter books match the movie. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And you ain't upset nobody. I like Logan, but besides that, I didn't enjoy the Fox X-Men. I love Hugh Jackman's portrayal of Logan. Let me say that. I cannot take away from that. I can't diminish that. And it's my opinion. Like I said, it's a safe space. It's just to me that you came in off the rip introducing Logan. Thus, we didn't get any development with Aurora. We didn't get any development with Scott. We didn't get any development with Jean other than she could be had. That was it. We didn't get any development necessarily with Sabretooth. We didn't get, it was those X-Men movies by and large were Wolverine movies. And that's what they wanted. That's how they pushed it. That's exactly what they got. In my opinion, we still have as of yet to get an X-Men movie. And that might be why the X-Men cartoon resonates with so many people the way that it does. By and large, they're trying their best to mimic what's in the comic. And in the comic, you got not only some great stories, but you got some great character development. Something that the only character we can say got developed, like I said, my opinion, the only character we can say by and large that got developed in Fox movies was Logan. And after Logan, it was Mystique. I ain't trying to be funny, but damn, that's a whole damn team. we gonna focus on one character like that? But hey, if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. I had tech problems on that live and missed your question. Can you ask me now? Theo, what you looking for? The other phone. Yes, ma'am, I can. I absolutely can. I'm gonna go to Grand Madam. Give me a second, Grand Madam. Give me a second. Grand Madam. Yep. Grand Madam. No, I had my question right here. Okay. All right. It might not have, it might, hold on. I'm gonna find it, Grand Madam. I'm sure gonna find it. Not a comment. That ain't it. That ain't it. Let's go to this one right here. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you right here. I remember the question. This stuff we got going on, politically wise and everything like that. And just the latest thing. We, Democrats, Pat Schumer, and all that other good stuff and everything like that. You know how I sit back and I just watch patterns. I just sit back and I just watch. Like, it seemed to me that, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that there's ways for folks saying they mad about stuff, upset about stuff, disagreeing with some stuff, politicians. There's a whole lot of enabling going on. Like, I hear what you're saying, but your words not matching your actions. Like, you ain't necessarily moving like you opposed to what's going on. Low key, it's kind of like you sitting back just. So my question is, like Theo, I know I'm just here so I don't get fined. You know, I've said that I'm standing on my square. I'm standing on business. That regardless of who you elect, they really don't give two damns about you, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. So the question that I asked is, because I think this is fair. So, no, Theo, no. The exit polls. You saw them? I saw them. So, 92% sisters voted for Kamala. And 78% brothers voted for Kamala. Okay, all right, cool. I'm doing simple math here. Just doing simple math. But we saw the other exit polls, right? We did, right? Am I wrong if I think to myself that some of the politicians who weren't Republican voted the same way that Republican politicians did? Because we saw them exit poll splits. We did. And that math don't math. No, if them exit polls like that, then could they, if I'm looking at them exit polls like I'm looking at them, then I think it's a safe bet. This me. I think it's a safe assumption. It's a safe assumption. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But is it out of the realm of possibility to believe that even though some of those politicians who opposed him verbally went out, opposed him, did all their rallies and everything like that, clapping, when Vice President Kamala Harris was doing her thing, that when they went in there to vote, they voted for him? I'm just asking a question. That was my question. Why how they did White Tiger finally gave Latinos a non-legacy hero of their own and killed. I wouldn't he did it. He was supposed to be he got deleted in the comic books, and I know somebody gonna say that, but it ain't like we going by the comic books anyway. So why we do it this time around? Lamar Hoskins ain't been deleted in no comic books. Well, we deleted him. Well, why we didn't keep that same logic with my boy Hector Ayala? Why we didn't keep that same energy with him? Just because he got deleted in the comic books didn't mean he had to get deleted in the soap. But hey, what's your family just checking in? What's going on? I tell them, I have to catch y'all on the next line. Absolutely. Oh, no, you good. But Fox Men was basically the Wolverine, Professor X, and Magneto show. Yeah, that's what that was. That's what that was. So listen, that's my time. I would love to tell y'all I was gonna stay here for a little bit longer, but we do have a show at 9:30. We do have the wonderful, extremely talented Joseph Illich on the show, and we want to make sure we got all the energy we need for him. I want to ask him, what made you get into? What made you want to do this? I think that's a great question. I want to ask that question to all the brothers and sisters that's out there writing. What made you want to get into writing superheroes? Grant Palace journalist discovered that 3 million. Hold on. That 3 million solid black votes were dismissed per Jim Crow law. Yes, some Dems voted for 47. That's what I wanted to know. You have a lot of Latino and Asian heroes in the comics, but you wouldn't know it if you watched the MCU, which is why we preach. We got them at the house. I got hit by y'all at the house, and they ain't never made that action figure. What do you say? They ain't never made that action figure. I got Hector at the house. I got his niece too. I got his niece too. So we We believe in representation at our home. Why? Because we want our, our little action figure world to kind of like look like what we see when we walk out the front door, but with more chocolate. So that's my time. Make sure you subscribe. I don't know, you might be subscribed, you might not be subscribed. Go check. We're going backwards. We went from 12:45, now we're at 12:42. I don't know, unless I'm saying something to upset some folks or just putting out bad content. But if I'm putting out bad content, y'all let me know. Hector Dine plays into the agenda. Y'all gonna be like, well, Theo, what agenda is he talking about? I don't know. You see the same thing I see, don't you? It's like this. You either notice ain't no black band-aids on the band-aid aisle, or you don't. You either making the assumption that it's neutral and transparent. Ain't no band-aids for us. It ain't. It ain't. You think they are, but you grown now. You in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and you, as long as you've been going to go buy band-aids, you ain't ever seen no band-aids that could go with our skin complexion. No, you have not. You haven't. You think you have. You haven't, because you're not looking for that. Well, if you looking for it, then you notice it's not there. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen, we out. This has been a blast. Y'all come back. Make sure you got your notifications on. Make sure you subscribe. I said we running to 1,300. It's almost like we running backwards to 1,200. I don't want to do that. Plus, we got big things in store for the channel. That said, we out in memory of the late, great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman. Until next time, I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and soul. We out.